86,000 animals in care, over 24,000 animals rescued, over 1,500 animal experts dedicating their lives to just 30 whales, spending millions of dollars rescuing and conserving wild animals in wild places. Yet this is what the Olympia student body thought of SeaWorld.
Alright, so what's the first word that comes to mind when you hear SeaWorld? Any humane?
I think SeaWorld is a joke.
Careless captivity of the animals, trapped animals.
Didn't some lady get eaten by Shamu?
The animals attacking the people.
After doing intense research, we disproved these false rumors and wanted you to see the truth.
Hi, my name is Spencer Clark, and I grew up in an environment where everyone around me taught me to support SeaWorld. My mom has been working at SeaWorld for 29 years, and my dad has been working there for 33 years. During my elementary school days, I was kind of known as the SeaWorld kid. I would take people to SeaWorld and teach them about conservation, and we would just have a good time. No one ever really even questioned SeaWorld. No one really even talked bad about SeaWorld at all back then. And then this documentary Blackfish came out, and a couple documents came out, and everything in my life regarding SeaWorld has changed. I now find myself constantly defending myself on the subject. In school, in the public, if I'm wearing a SeaWorld t-shirt, they're like, why would you support such a terrible company? Your mom's a liar, mom's terrible. I'm proud to be standing for a company where I know animal rights aren't being mistreated. SeaWorld is a world leader in animal rescue. The millions of people who visit their parks each year make it possible for SeaWorld's world-renowned work in rescue, rehabilitation, and release. They are constantly innovating when it comes to this care. In the last 3 years alone, they have invested $70 million into their killer whale habitats and millions of dollars annually in support of these facilities. Their habitats are among the largest in the world today. They are state-of-the-art, multi-million gallon environments of cooled and filtered water that allow for the highest and safest standards of care.
Well, everybody thinks that we provide medical care to sick animals, and that is a big part of our job, but we also have a very robust preventative medicine program. So that's just wellness care and checkups, which we do regularly. One example is for our pregnant dolphins and whales. We do what any normal human OBGYN would do. We can follow that animal throughout its pregnancy, check its blood, do ultrasounds on these whales, all poolside. They're completely calm, and some of them even seem to really like it.
As we understand it, most of what the world knows about killer whale reproduction, gestation, calf development was all learned through data collected from trained whales at SeaWorld. As a matter of fact, we were able to witness a collection of daily urine samples that contributes hormonal research. These killer whales are not just performing awe-inspiring behaviors in the show, they are also trained to voluntarily give samples of pretty much anything you can think of: eye mucus, feces, blood, and so much more. In 2010, an event that shocked everyone occurred. Dawn Brancheau lost her life at SeaWorld while working with a whale. I remember Dawn. She was a very close friend of our family. But my message to the public is that accidents happen. These are animals that these trainers are working with. But accidents happen everywhere. Everywhere you go, you'll hear an accident. I don't know why everyone focuses so much on SeaWorld. Blackfish made this accident seem like it was all SeaWorld's fault. What most people don't know is that this so-called documentary is considered to be propaganda. If you Google 69 reasons why Blackfish is propaganda, you will find an enormous list that SeaWorld has put together of all the things Blackfish tried to tricking you into believing. For example, at just the first couple minutes of the film, this footage misleads the audience into believing it is the viewer footage of a fatal accident between Miss Brancheau and Tillicum on February 24, 2010. However, the opening sequence does not contain any footage of an attack, and neither Miss Brancheau nor Tillicum are depicted. If you keep scrolling, you will find many more misleading facts that are backed up by SeaWorld's experts. However, people still seem to go against SeaWorld without knowing their facts. On a recent Saturday, 20 to 30 protesters, most of whom are pretty obnoxious, were positioned on the median in front of the road in front of SeaWorld's entrance. They are there frequently on Saturdays of late with graphic images they use to spread their message. What exactly is their message? We wanted to find out. Okay, so why are you here today?
We're here today because we don't agree that whales or dolphins should be kept in captivity.
We heard some pretty bizarre claims of what SeaWorld does in our interviews with the protesters. Here's a statement made by a woman who flew into Orlando all the way from Texas just for the protest.
SeaWorld paints their whales because they have so much fungus and rakes and nasty marks from being in captivity.
Wow, I didn't know that. They paint their whales?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us where you get your research from? Our research and real-life experiences at SeaWorld assure us that this is not accurate. Listen to this protester actually contradict herself in her statement. So what do you say to the, maybe you weren't inspired, but what do you say to the kids that were inspired by SeaWorld and have grown up to like care for the environment?
Well, I did learn to care for the environment by never mind, scratch that.
Wait, did she just say she learned to care for the environment by going to SeaWorld? Okay.
I was going to say by going to SeaWorld, but no.
Let me get this straight. You were inspired to care about animals and the ocean at SeaWorld, and now you want to deny other kids from having that life-changing experience? Why are you protesting the very place that inspired you to care? If she really thinks about what she's saying, she would realize she is hypocritical. Now let's talk about what SeaWorld does right. The list actually goes on and on. Let's just focus on a few that are misrepresented in the public. At SeaWorld, whether 39-year-old killer whale all the way to a tiny baby sea turtle, each and every animal has world-class care for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For the past 35 years, all of these animals were either born into care or rescued from the wild. Now it's up to you. Will you fall for the propaganda or will you see the truth?